Chapter 1624. You actually control the ancient rune. Each leaf was as large as a star. When they exploded, it was like countless stars simultaneously detonating, causing the entire galaxy to collapse. Space collapsed, and it was like the end of the world. In the explosion, the giant starry tree suddenly disappeared. The holy venerable snorted coldly.
Courting death.
His figure flickered and also disappeared. The terrifying explosion did not harm him in the slightest. A desolate star system, 1 million light-years away from the explosion, had no living beings or resources. It had 1 star and 3 planets, making it a small star system. The giant starry tree suddenly appeared here, its massive body smashing the only 3 planets to pieces. At the same time, its branches wrapped around the star, pulling it directly to its roots. Originally, there were already 3 stars under its roots, and now one of them had completely extinguished. The giant starry tree's space jump had exhausted all the remaining power of this star.
Trying to stop me? Dream on.
The giant starry tree snorted coldly and disappeared again. It performed another space jump and reappeared 1 million light-years away. The jump was almost instantaneous, faster than a teleportation array. One jump could take it 1 million light-years. Another star under its roots extinguished and was discarded like trash. The giant starry tree size was too large, and each jump consumed the energy of an entire star. Without borrowing the power of stars, its own power for space jumps would be exhausted after a few uses. Even the power of the other shore realm was not infinite. This time, the jump did not land in a place with stars, so it could not replenish its energy. Only 2 stars remained in its roots. After 2 consecutive space jumps, the giant starry tree paused for a few seconds, searching for its next target. It quickly locked onto a target, a star system with a star. Whether there were living beings in the star system was not within its consideration. It didn't matter to it. It only needed the star. As for the living beings on the planets, their life or death had nothing to do with it. At its level, it viewed others as ants. It viewed Lin Moyu the same way, but Lin Moyu, this ant, had offended it and disrupted its plans. So it wanted revenge. It knew that as long as it could reach the human star region, the Holy Venerable would not dare to act rashly against it. Otherwise, as it said, once a war started, it would be enough to destroy hundreds of star systems and kill countless humans. This consequence was something even the Holy Venerable could not bear. The star shone brightly, and the giant starry tree was about to perform another space jump. The laws of space surged, and suddenly everything changed. The laws of space collapsed. The giant eye on the tree narrowed sharply.
The rules have been changed.
The rules of the surrounding starry sky had been altered, and the laws of space lost their effect. Immediately after, the Holy Venerable appeared in front of it. The giant starry tree couldn't believe it.
How could you be so fast?
It used the laws of space to perform space jumps, crossing 1 million light-years in an instant. 2 jumps meant 2 million light-years. Although the Holy Venerable was a saint, he did not have the laws of space. How could he catch up so quickly? The Holy Venerable did not explain.
There is no need to explain to the dead.
The Holy Venerable took out a formation disk, which suddenly enlarged, projecting countless runes. The runes connected to form a formation, covering billions of miles of the starry sky, also enveloping the giant starry tree. The entire space instantly solidified, becoming incredibly sturdy. Even if the other shore realm fought inside, it would be difficult to break the starry sky. Similarly, the giant starry tree's laws of space were also restricted, unable to perform space jumps.
Die.
The Holy Venerable struck out with a palm, and a giant palm print appeared in the starry sky, falling towards the giant starry tree. In the center of the palm, a huge rune appeared. The rune was not complete, with some parts missing, but it was still extraordinary. The giant starry tree screamed,
Ancient rune! You actually control the ancient rune!
The scream was filled with terror. In its knowledge, the ancient rune was synonymous with danger. If it were just fragments or a corner, that would be fine. But if it were a relatively complete ancient rune, it would be a terrifying thing. Countless branches and vines flew out, whipping towards the palm print. The stars in its roots shone brightly, providing the giant starry tree with immense power. The branches shattered before they even touched the palm print. The power of the ancient rune was unimaginably strong. The giant starry tree screamed continuously, but it could not stop the ancient rune. The holy venerable's palm landed on it, and a large part of the giant starry tree's body shattered. A large number of branches broke off, and this palm destroyed at least 1/5 of its body.
How can the Holy Venerable be this strong? It's impossible. The Holy Venerable can't be this strong.
It had fought with the Holy Venerable of the demon race before. Although it was not a match, it was not beaten this badly. And even if it couldn't win, it could retreat calmly. This was its confidence. It never thought that the human Holy Venerable would be much stronger than the demon race. Until now, it realized it was wrong, terribly wrong. At this moment, the Holy Venerable's second palm had already struck. The giant starry tree began to struggle desperately. The originally stable starry sky once again showed cracks. It also possessed the power of rules. The Holy Venerable could change the rules, and it could reverse the rules. At the same time, the branches emitted immense power of rules, meeting the Holy Venerable's second palm. Lin Moyu was immersed in the sea of knowledge. He found that he really enjoyed reading various materials. The materials contained not only information he didn't know, but also the wisdom of predecessors. For example, in one secret realm, there was a large river. This river emitted a captivating fragrance, attracting you to take a sip. If you drank it, congratulations, you were doomed. But if you didn't drink it, you couldn't enter the second stage. The river was the entrance to the second stage, and drinking it was the key. So what to do? Someone came up with a method. They created a puppet and stored their soul in the puppet, then drank the river water. At the moment of drinking the water, the soul returned to the body. In this way, they tricked the runes and entered the second stage. They even passed the second stage, but unfortunately couldn't find the entrance to the third stage and had to give up. There were many such people and events, and the secret realm materials contained many things to be aware of. The
Primary star system number 13283.
That Lin Moyu was heading to had a secret realm called
Black Rain.
and an ancient battlefield. This was why Lin Moyu chose it. Secret realms and ancient battlefields were both places he wanted to go. Lin Moyu had already finished reading the materials on the Black Rain secret realm. The Falling Stone secret realm had at least 3 stages. The first 2 stages had been cleared, and it was the secret realm strategy group that cleared them. Detailed strategies were already available, but the third stage had not been discovered. When Lin Moyu entered the secret realm, he needed to enter the second stage and find out how to open the next stage. Lin Moyu now fully understood why the Human Emperor Network did not allow such strategies to be widely disseminated. If everyone followed the strategies to complete tasks, the tasks would indeed become easier, but they would no longer serve to train cultivators. This completely went against the original intention of the human race's high-level officials and violated the iron law of survival in the Great World. 1625 1625. Chapter 1625. Skill approaching the Tao. Why is he glowing? After reading through the numerous materials in the Secret Realm Strategy Group, there were still more than 50 days left until arriving at
Primary star system number 13283.
Lin Moyu turned and entered the Human Emperor Network, walking into the Symbol Master Association Tower to systematically study rune knowledge again. He had previously studied rune knowledge and even established his own rune system, forming his own understanding of runes. These insights came from the vast amount of information in the Human Emperor Network, some of which were incomplete and organized by Lin Moyu himself. The information about symbol masters in the Human Emperor Network was more than sufficient for entry-level learning but still lacked systematic comprehensiveness. Upon entering the Symbol Master Association, Lin Moyu aimed to use the systematic rune knowledge there to reorganize his rune system. It was akin to reinforcing his foundation during cultivation, ensuring no flaws or gaps. After entering the first floor of the Symbol Master Association Tower, Lin Moyu chose a quiet spot to sit down and access the Human Emperor network to retrieve information. A book appeared in his hand, identical to the books in others' hands. The book's appearance was the same, but the content inside varied according to Lin Moyu's needs. The content on the first floor consisted of basic rune knowledge. Upon verification, Lin Moyu found that it was indeed more detailed than the public information in the Human Emperor network. Many key points were not present in the public information. Lin Moyu spent 20 days on the first floor, reading all the materials and integrating them into his own understanding. His unique rune system became more refined. Lin Moyu seemed to have grasped the essence of runes, but this understanding was indescribable and could only be felt by him. After 20 days, Lin Moyu moved to the second floor. The second floor contained various materials for second-tier symbol masters. These materials were mostly basic runes, with a significant reduction in quantity. There were some specific applications of runes and some insights, but these were not very helpful to Lin Moyu. He had already mastered most of the basic runes and was extremely proficient. He only skimmed through the materials, encountering 2 unfamiliar basic runes, which were not very useful. Even if he hadn't learned them, Lin Moyu could deduce these 2 runes when needed. Lin Moyu spent only 5 days on the second floor before moving to the third floor. The third floor had more comprehensive basic rune materials and a few high-level rune materials. There were no insights from other symbol masters here. The Symbol Master Association preferred to see 100 flowers bloom, hoping each symbol master would have their own understanding. Too many cultivation insights would only mislead truly talented symbol masters and might even lead them astray. Unless guided by a high-level symbol master, it was a different matter. Lin Moyu quickly read through all the rune materials on the third floor and moved to the fourth floor after 3 days. The fourth floor contained no basic runes, only high-level runes. However, high-level runes were also divided into simple and complex ones. The fourth floor, accessible to fourth-tier symbol masters, contained relatively simple high-level runes. Lin Moyu's method of learning high-level runes differed from ordinary symbol masters. He learned through the high-level runes in the
symbol language,
which were of extremely high grade. From a certain perspective, the high-level runes recorded in the
symbol language
were the general principles of a certain type of high-level runes. Lin Moyu used these high-level runes to further break them down, mastering a large number of high-level runes in reverse. This deconstruction method had a high starting point but also had drawbacks. It was impossible to deconstruct comprehensively, and there would always be omissions. The materials in the Symbol Master Association became the best supplement. Lin Moyu stayed on the fourth floor, learning and mastering high-level runes at an astonishing speed. Perhaps due to his incredible talent, Lin Moyu found learning high-level runes effortless. Even the complex high-level runes in the
symbol language
were manageable, let alone these simpler high-level runes. He could master a high-level rune every half hour, and many high-level runes were already familiar to him, making the process even faster. Lin Moyu sat in a corner of the fourth floor, holding a book in one hand and continuously drawing runes in the air with the other. He did not infuse soul power or endow the runes with spirit, so the runes dissipated quickly after being drawn. However, Lin Moyu could fully sense whether his runes were successfully drawn. On the fourth floor, many fourth-tier symbol masters were also practicing and learning runes. They were all attracted by Lin Moyu's actions, watching him intently. Lin Moyu's movements while drawing runes were incredibly smooth, with an indescribable beauty. It was as if he was the perfect instructor, demonstrating the correct way to draw runes. Any deviation from his method seemed wrong. Lin Moyu continuously demonstrated the drawing methods of each rune, making it a visual delight and an eye-opener for many symbol masters. Many symbol masters gained insights from Lin Moyu's drawing, feeling a sense of sudden enlightenment. Some symbol masters, after watching for a while, sent messages to their friends.
Come to the fourth floor of the Symbol Master Association Tower quickly. There's a master demonstrating rune drawing. Hurry and learn from the master drawing runes. This is a rare opportunity. There's an expert drawing runes. Come quickly to learn.
The news spread quickly, and symbol masters teleported over one after another. In no time, the fourth floor was filled with over 1,000 fourth-tier symbol masters, and the number kept increasing. Fortunately, the Symbol Master Association Tower had enough space to accommodate tens of thousands of people without feeling crowded. Everyone was very considerate, not making a sound, quietly watching Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was fully focused on drawing runes, one after another. Here, he didn't have to worry about danger, allowing him to concentrate entirely on his task. As he continuously drew runes, Lin Moyu felt his rune drawing skills improve significantly. A strange sense of familiarity surged in his heart, as if he had drawn these runes before. Lin Moyu's movements in drawing runes became subtly more perfect. Strangely, in the eyes of the symbol masters, a faint glow appeared around Lin Moyu. The light was weak and soft, enveloping Lin Moyu like a halo.
Strange, why do I feel like he's glowing? Yes, I feel the same. He seems to be glowing. It's not an illusion, I see it too. He's really glowing. What's going on? I feel an urge to worship him. I have the same urge. This feeling is too strange.
In the core area, Elder Su suddenly widened his eyes. With a flick of his finger, a light screen appeared in the void, reflecting the situation on the fourth floor of the Symbol Master Association Tower. 1626 1626. Chapter 1626. Tao Rhythm. This messes up the seniority. The unusual behavior of Ancestor Su immediately attracted the attention of several other Shore Realm bigwigs. These bigwigs from the other Shore Realm were usually too idle, and any slight disturbance would draw them over to join the fun. In the scene, Lin Moyu's entire body was emitting a faint glow as he drew one rune after another. Thousands of people were watching Lin Moyu, and from time to time, some would close their eyes and start drawing runes, imitating Lin Moyu. Unfortunately, they could only mimic the form but not the essence. Several bigwigs from the other Shore Realm were dumbfounded as they watched the faint glow on Lin Moyu's body. They had seen many great waves, and there were few things that could leave them dumbfounded. Old Lin looked at Lin Moyu and sighed.
Chengcheng, this is Tao Rhythm.
Then he looked at Ancestor Su.
Old Su, it seems you haven't triggered Tao Rhythm either.
Ancestor Su snot.
Shut up.
He didn't respond to Old Lin's words but stared unblinkingly at Lin Moyu. Lady Yu smiled beside him.
It seems we have underestimated young friend Lin. He is merely a divine king, yet he can touch upon Tao Rhythm. His talent in runes is unprecedented. Not only unprecedented, but also unparalleled in the future.
A majestic voice sounded, and Saint Venerable Hao appeared beside everyone. Lady Yu chuckled.
Saint Venerable, you hold young friend Lin in such high regard.
Saint Venerable Hao said softly.
It's not that I hold him in high regard, but that he is too outstanding. Was your trip successful?
Old Lin suddenly asked. The giant starry tree approaching the human race would be a big problem if not dealt with. Saint Venerable Hao said.
It escaped, but it should be powerless to return within 1,000 years.
Old Lin was not surprised.
The giant starry tree possesses the laws of space and can also change the rules. It's very difficult to truly kill it.
The bigwigs from the other Shore Realm all agreed. It was already quite an achievement for Saint Venerable Wu to severely injure the giant starry tree. The laws of space were indeed troublesome. If it was determined to escape, it would be hard to catch up. Lady Yu pondered.
If it happens again, keeping it around would be a hidden danger. But the laws of space are indeed troublesome, and we don't have any practitioners in this area among the human race. Perhaps we can borrow someone from the Starry Sky Fish clan.
The human race, fully known as the Starry Sky Divine Human Race, is one of the 4 major source races in the Great World. They have a good relationship with the Starry Sky Fish clan, another of the 4 major source races. The 2 races occasionally interact. Although the Starry Sky Fish clan is in a semi-secluded state, if the human race asks for help, they generally won't refuse. Moreover, the Starry Sky Fish Clan is most proud of their mastery of the laws of space. If one of their other shore realm experts takes action, it would be much easier to hunt down the giant starry tree. Saint Venerable How was able to cross 20,000 light-years to catch up with the giant starry tree, thanks to a treasure from the Starry Sky Fish Clan. Saint Venerable How said softly,
Let's discuss this matter later.
the giant starry tree had already been severely injured and would be powerless to retaliate within 1,000 years. So there was no need to rush. Lady, you did not insist.
In a few years, the once-in-a-century Source Race Conference will begin.
She didn't spell it out, but everyone understood her meaning. Old Lin chuckled.
I heard there's a princess in the Starry Sky Fish Clan who has comprehended the laws of space. She's quite remarkable. I wonder how she compares to young Lin.
Lady, you glared at him.
Don't get any funny ideas.
Old Lin laughed.
I didn't say anything.
At this moment, a faint light suddenly appeared, causing an unusual ripple. Everyone felt as if their souls were being stirred, and a void-chanting sound suddenly echoed in the core area. It was as if some supreme existence had descended, preaching and teaching to everyone. If you listened carefully, you couldn't hear anything. The sound was faint, with an indescribable rhythm and pattern, making people feel enlightened and entranced, unable to extricate themselves. The bigwigs from the other shore realm all changed their expressions. A faint light appeared on Ancestor Su's body, identical to the light on Lin Moyu.
Tao Rhythm. Old Su has actually touched upon Tao Rhythm. He was inspired by Lin Moyu's Tao Rhythm and had an epiphany, thus touching upon Tao Rhythm. Now things get interesting. Does Old Su have to call Lin Moyu his teacher? Call him a teacher? If Old Su calls him a teacher, what should we call Lin Moyu?
They were all of the same generation as Ancestor Su. If Ancestor Su called Lin Moyu his teacher, what should they call Lin Moyu? Wouldn't that mess up the seniority?
Silence!
Saint Venerable How suddenly spoke, and everyone immediately fell silent. The entire starry sky fell into silence. Saint Venerable How gave a signal, and everyone retreated 100,000 miles, leaving a vast space for Ancestor Su. The Tao rhythm on Ancestor Su's body grew stronger, and he fell into his own epiphany, ignoring the outside world. The light of Tao rhythm grew stronger, and Ancestor Su extended his hand, beginning to draw runes. His speed was extremely fast, his hand forming after images, and in less than a second a high-level rune was drawn. Then the second, the third, the fourth. One rune after another flew out, lingering in the starry sky. Each rune had form and spirit, genuine runes. Each rune emitted astonishing power, capable of destroying stars. Ancestor Su, with his other shore realm body, had studied runes for tens of thousands of years. His understanding of runes was not something Lin Moyu could compare to. Tao rhythm is the highest manifestation of touching upon a certain Tao. Lin Moyu inadvertently touched upon the pinnacle of the Tao of runes, displaying Tao rhythm. Ancestor Su had always been a hair's breadth away from Tao rhythm. This time, inspired by Lin Moyu's Tao rhythm, he suddenly had an epiphany. Finally, he touched upon Tao rhythm. In the midst of Tao rhythm, countless insights emerged. Ancestor Su drew one rune after another, each one a powerful high-level rune. From initially drawing 1 rune per second, to later drawing 2 per second, 3 per second, faster and faster. In no time, the starry sky was filled with runes, thousands of runes densely surrounding Ancestor Su. Then these runes began to combine and merge together. The runes became heavy, became three-dimensional, and space began to crack, as if unable to bear the weight of the runes. When thousands of high-level runes merged into one, a brand new rune appeared in everyone's sight.
Ancient rune!
Everyone was shocked. Ancestor Su had actually drawn a complete ancient rune. The ancient rune emitted an astonishing aura, and Ancestor Su opened his mouth and inhaled, absorbing the ancient rune into his body. In the next moment, Ancestor Su's aura surged.
Retreat again!
Saint Venerable How gave a light shout, and everyone immediately retreated another 100,000 miles. Above Ancestor Su's head, a purple soul leaped out. The ancient rune, drawn and merged by his own hand, was now in the soul's hand. The soul held the rune in one hand, and the rune transformed into a pagoda, looking exactly like the Symbol Master Association's pagoda. The pagoda had 9 levels, with the first level already lit, while the other 8 levels remained dim. The soul held the pagoda, and the purple light grew more intense, the aura becoming stronger, until a touch of red appeared in the purple soul, and Ancestor Su's aura reached its peak. Saint Venerable, 1627, 1627. Chapter 1627. Creating a Rune Undead Legion. Saint Venerable. Everyone had the same thought. Lin Moyu had become a Saint Venerable. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Ancestor Su drew his own ancient rune and integrated it into his soul, transforming it into a soul treasure. This achievement allowed him to attain the Saint Venerable body. Ancestor Su's aura swept across the starry sky, felt even from tens of thousands of light years away. The powerful pressure made countless divine sovereigns tremble in their hearts. This oppressive force lasted for several days before gradually dissipating, and Ancestor Su regained his clarity. Saint Venerable Hao's voice rang out clearly.
Congratulations, Taoist Su. From now on, our human race has another Saint Venerable.
Ancestor Su slowly bowed to Saint Venerable Hao and the others, causing the entire starry sky to tremble with his movements.
Thank you, fellow Taoists, for your support.
Saint Venerables are currently the most powerful forces on the surface for all races. Having one more Saint Venerable significantly strengthens the human race. Old Lin thought to himself,
We were just saying it would be great if the human race had a few more Saint Venerables, and now old Su has become one. This is going to be interesting. Owing such a big favor to Lin Moyu, old Su is probably going to have a headache. According to the rules, old Su should call Lin Moyu teacher, and it wouldn't be inappropriate.
He thought of many things in an instant and even found it somewhat amusing. However, on the surface, he remained very respectful, bowing to Ancestor Su.
Greetings, Saint Venerable. Greetings, Saint Venerable.
All the other Shore Realm experts present followed the rules and greeted him. Saint Venerable Wu spoke softly.
Taoist Su, you should choose a title for yourself.
Ancestor Su pondered for a few seconds before slowly speaking.
My teacher entered the Tao through runes, so I should also take rune as my title.
As soon as he said this, the heavens and earth trembled. The entire great world seemed to respond, buzzing continuously. A unique rhythm spread throughout the great world, somewhat similar to the Tao rhythm but different. The rhythm carried a sense of joy, as if the great world was celebrating the birth of Rune Saint Venerable. Only some other Shore Realm experts and peak divine sovereigns could sense this rhythm. Those with lesser strength felt nothing. Saint Venerable Hao nodded and smiled.
Very good, very good. From now on, there is no more Ancestor Su, only Rune Saint Venerable.
Everyone present bowed again.
Greetings, Rune Saint Venerable.
In the Human Emperor Network, Lin Moyu continued drawing runes. The Tao rhythm remained, unchanged. His speed in drawing runes was consistent and steady. After completing all the high-level runes for a 4th-tier symbol master, Lin Moyu did not stop but began a second round of drawing. Lin Moyu did not understand the meaning of Tao rhythm, nor did he know that he had already touched upon it. At this moment, he had entered a special state, neither an epiphany nor cultivation, but enlightenment. The Human Emperor Network often reflects reality. In reality, Lin Moyu sat cross-legged on the skeletal dragon, also enveloped by the Tao rhythm, emitting a faint glow. In the pitch-black starry sky, he became the most dazzling star. The highest manifestation of Tao rhythm in cultivation is only shown when one touches upon the true essence of a Tao. Lin Moyu had touched upon the essence of the Rune Tao. However, his own level was not high enough to directly integrate the ancient rune and ascend to Saint Venerable like Ancestor Su. But touching upon the Tao rhythm was still immensely beneficial to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu realized many true uses of runes, understanding that runes could accomplish many incredible things. The root of this world is the Great World Rune. A single rune supports the entire world, explaining all the laws, rules, and principles within it. However, this does not mean that studying the Rune Tao is the only path to the pinnacle of the world. All paths lead to the same destination, regardless of which path one takes. They all ultimately converge. It doesn't mean that walking the Rune Tao will take you further than others. For example, Saint Venerable Wu and Rune Saint Venerable did not walk the same path, but both achieved the status of Saint Venerable. Moreover, both have the potential to continue breaking through, and it's hard to say who will be stronger in the end. For Lin Moyu, the Rune Tao is not his foundation. His foundation remains the Undying Law, the Undead Legion, and his innate spells. The Rune Tao can serve as a great auxiliary. Before touching upon the Tao rhythm, spells were spells and runes were runes. They were independent and existed separately. But now, Lin Moyu could integrate the two, making each stronger. Lin Moyu drew a high-level rune. This high-level rune represented
Armor.
the armor of armor. Its function was to transform into a piece of armor, capable of withstanding a certain amount of damage, similar to a magical treasure. Could be used on oneself or on others. With Lin Moyu's current ability, the armor formed by this rune could withstand attacks from a divine king for a short time. Even attacks from a minor divine sovereign could be blocked a few times. After drawing the high-level rune, Lin Moyu quickly drew several basic runes at an astonishing speed.
Strengthen, solidify, metal, flexibility, stability.
10 basic runes were completed in one go, and then these runes, under Lin Moyu's control, merged into the
Armor.
Rune.
The armor rune became heavy and three-dimensional, displaying different images on the rune. The rune seemed to take on the color of metal and appeared more solid.
Go!
Lin Moyu softly commanded, and the rune flew onto the skeletal dragon beneath him. The skeletal dragon let out a dragon roar, its body shining brightly, and a huge piece of armor faintly appeared. The armor glowed for a few seconds before disappearing. However, within the skeletal dragon's soul fire, a bit of golden light appeared. If the golden light were magnified, it would reveal a rune, the rune Lin Moyu had just drawn. With a thought, Lin Moyu activated the rune, and the skeletal dragon's massive body was instantly covered in a layer of transparent, pale golden armor. Lin Moyu carefully sensed the strength of the golden armor. With the rune, the skeletal dragon's defense had undergone a tremendous change. At this moment, even if a minor divine sovereign attacked, without using any passive spells or the undead legion to share the damage, the skeletal dragon alone could withstand the attack. Roughly estimating, a minor divine sovereign would need to attack at least 100 times with full force to break the rune's defense. Even a divine sovereign's attack could be blocked 1 or 2 times by the armor formed by the rune. Such an enhancement was significant. Moreover, the rune armor had already integrated into the soul, so even if it were broken, it wouldn't matter. The rune wouldn't collapse or be damaged. It would merely run out of energy. It would absorb energy from the soul fire, and once the energy was sufficient, it could be used again.
Now, just by integrating the rune into the soul, the effect is already so good. If I could integrate the rune into the entire body, how strong could it become?
Lin Moyu had a thought. Perhaps he could create a terrifying rune undead legion. 1628 Chapter 1628 Teacher of Thousands of Symbol Masters. The Tao rhythm disappeared, and Lin Moyu also stopped drawing runes. He opened his eyes and saw thousands of people surrounding him. Although they did not approach, their gazes seemed somewhat unusual. Some people's eyes were filled with excitement, while others showed admiration. Most of them seemed to want more, as if they hadn't seen enough.
What happened?
Lin Moyu didn't react for a moment. He recalled in his mind and realized that he had just entered a special state. As a 4th-tier symbol master, he should have mastered about 100 high-level runes, and it seemed he had drawn dozens of them. In that indescribable special state, drawing runes felt very enjoyable, and he unknowingly became immersed in it. At the same time, he indeed made significant progress and gains. The biggest gain was that he fused a high-level
armor
rune with 10 basic runes, creating a special high-level rune. This rune did not exist in the
symbol language
and was entirely his own creation. If ranked, this rune might be weaker than ancient runes, but it was already a top-tier high-level rune. The key was that this rune was very effective, greatly enhancing the survival ability of the Undead Legion. Lin Moyu named it Golden Armor Rune. Under the silent gaze of thousands, Lin Moyu slowly stood up and flew towards the 5th floor. All those present were 4th-tier symbol masters and did not have the qualifications to enter the 5th floor. Suddenly, everyone simultaneously bowed to Lin Moyu and shouted in unison,
"Thank you, teacher."
Lin Moyu was taken aback and found it strange.
"Why are you saying this?"
Someone immediately replied,
"You just demonstrated the truly perfect way of drawing runes. We benefited greatly and had many insights. Although it was unintentional on your part, the benefits we gained are real, so calling you teacher is not an exaggeration. A master is a teacher. Your attainments in runes surpass us by countless times. Even those high-level symbol masters cannot compare to you. Although you are not our formal teacher, your previous actions make you half a teacher."
Everyone spoke one after another, and Lin Moyu understood. Since that was the case, he did not refuse and accepted it calmly. After all, they did benefit from him. Although there was no formal teacher-student relationship, there was already a practical one. Calling him teacher was not an exaggeration. Lin Moyu nodded.
"Then continue to comprehend."
Just returning from the Tao rhythm state, Lin Moyu carried a trace of Tao's aura. Every word and action carried a special majesty, making people respect him. Just as Lin Moyu was about to step into the 5th floor, someone suddenly called out,
"Teacher, may we know your name?"
Lin Moyu stopped and said in a deep voice,
"Lin Moyu."
As his words fell, Lin Moyu disappeared from everyone's sight. The 4th floor of the Symbol Master Association Tower was in an uproar.
"He is Lin Moyu, the first in the 4-star domain competition, the one who cleared 2 secret realms, Lin Moyu. How can it be him? Didn't he just arrive in the Divine City not long ago? How did he become a symbol master and reach such a level? I remember people from the 4-star domain don't study runes. Geniuses cannot be measured by common sense. One day of their cultivation is equivalent to our years or decades. A genius, this is a true genius."
Among the 4th-tier symbol masters, there were divine kings, minor divine sovereigns, and even a few divine sovereigns. They either had extraordinary backgrounds, exceptional talents, or managed a symbol master branch in a star system. But at this moment, without exception, they all admired Lin Moyu immensely. The atmosphere on the 5th floor was completely different from the 4th floor, as if they were 2 different worlds. It was solemn and quiet here. The commotion on the 4th floor did not reach here. On this floor, a dozen 5th-tier symbol masters sat quietly. They did not notice Lin Moyu's arrival and remained immersed in their own world. Lin Moyu did not say much, found a place to sit down, and began to review the corresponding rune materials. After experiencing the Tao rhythm, Lin Moyu found that these high-level runes were no longer difficult for him. He could master them almost effortlessly. In just half a day, Lin Moyu stood up again and walked towards the 6th floor. He entered the 6th floor without any obstacles. Although he was only a 5th-tier symbol master, the Human Emperor Network granted him special privileges, allowing him to access the 6th floor. There were even fewer symbol masters on the 6th floor, and the structure of symbol masters was like a pyramid with fewer people at higher levels. The runes encountered by 6th-tier symbol masters were the most difficult among high-level runes. After reviewing the materials, Lin Moyu confirmed that these high-level runes were actually the same as those in the
symbol language.
Moreover, they were not as comprehensive as those in the
symbol language.
However, Lin Moyu did not stop there. He patiently reviewed all the runes on the 6th floor. After confirming that all the runes here could be found in the
symbol language,
Lin Moyu left the Symbol Master Association. Returning to his body, Lin Moyu fell into deep thought.
If I'm not mistaken, 7th tier symbol masters should be about arranging rune formations. From the 1st to the 6th tier, it's about learning and mastering individual runes. Starting from the 7th tier, it's about using these runes to arrange rune formations. Then the 8th tier can be easily deduced, possibly arranging more advanced rune formations or fusing runes. As for the 9th tier,
Lin Moyu had not yet thought of the requirements for 9th tier symbol masters. To be certified as a 6th tier symbol master, one needed to master 100 high-level runes, which was no problem for him. However, to become a 6th tier symbol master, one also needed 10,000 Divine City merit points and a mid-level position in the Divine City. These two requirements were not yet met and could only be achieved gradually. Opening his eyes, a massive star system was slowly enlarging in his view. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and he stopped in the starry sky.
primary star system number 13283 is within reach, but now Lin Moyu has other things to do, so there's no rush to explore the new secret realm, an ancient battlefield.
In the starry sky 1 billion kilometers away from
Primary star system number 13283.
Lin Moyu sat cross-legged on the skeletal dragon and slowly closed his eyes. All his consciousness and spirit sank into his soul world at this moment. He was about to do two things. First, arrange a new faith formation in his soul. Second, add the golden armor rune to the Undead Legion. After these days of accumulation, the power of faith had exceeded 6,000 units, more than enough to arrange the faith formation. The reason he hadn't done it yet was that he felt his rune skills were not sufficient to arrange a perfect faith formation. Just like the previous formation, it seemed successful but was far from perfect. So he waited until now, when his rune mastery had reached a new level, to start arranging the faith formation. Not only would he arrange a new one, but he would also modify and strengthen the old faith formation. Besides the faith formation, there was another major project. Billions of Undead Legion members were eagerly waiting for his golden armor rune. 1629, 1629. Chapter 1629. Lin Moyu's Wild Imagination. In the soul world, one rune after another appeared, flying to their predetermined positions, shining brightly. Lin Moyu's technique for arranging the faith formation was much more skillful than before. With the eye of the soul activated, he could see the tiniest details in each rune and feel the flow of power within them, down to the smallest nuances. From this, it was clear that each rune was more perfect than before. Although each rune had only a slight difference, the final result would be significantly different. The previous faith formation was like this, leading to its inefficient operation. In just half a day, a new faith formation was about to be completed. Lin Moyu drew the final main rune and integrated it into the formation. All the veins of the faith formation were connected, and all the runes were linked together, operating silently. Compared to the last faith formation, this one was nearly perfect. On the surface, no problems could be found. Lin Moyu carefully sensed it and could clearly feel the formation's operation efficiency reaching 10%. A smile appeared in the eyes of his soul, extremely satisfied with the formation he had arranged.
Go!
With a small push, the faith formation flew to the skeletal mage's magic star. Light shone down, enveloping the entire magic star. 50 million skeletal mages joined the ranks of providing faith power to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu easily calculated that 50 million skeletal mages could provide him with 20 units of faith power daily. Similarly, 50 million skeletal warriors could only provide 10 units of faith power. This was the difference between a perfect formation and an imperfect one.
Once the other faith formation is arranged, I'll modify you.
Lin Moyu said to the imperfect first formation, talking to himself. He then began a new round of drawing. Soon, another faith formation was completed. 50 million skeletal archers also became providers of faith power. Lin Moyu did not arrange a new faith formation. He had over 2,000 units of faith power left, which he planned to use to modify the first faith formation. Among the Undead Legion, The three most numerous basic skeletons had all become sources of faith power, with a total of only 30 million left. Moreover, to turn them into sources of faith power, 3 more faith formations would be needed. Lin Moyu naturally calculated the accounts clearly. Of course, he would still arrange formations in the future, but not now. His soul flew to the first faith formation and began the modification project. Modifying an already formed formation was more troublesome and complex than arranging a new one. But Lin Moyu still chose to modify it. He wanted to train his control over runes and formations. Modifying runes and correcting formations from the details was more effective than arranging new formations. His soul focused entirely modifying the formation bit by bit. During the modification process, he gained a deeper understanding of the formation structure. Each rune had its own function and meaning, and he also developed his own insights into the combination of runes. Lin Moyu's attainment in formations was growing at an astonishing speed. Arranging a new faith formation took only half a day. If Lin Moyu wanted, he could do it even faster. But modifying a faith formation took a full 5 days. 5 days later, Lin Moyu's face showed joy. The faith formation before him was completely renewed, exuding a perfect aura. Looking at his masterpiece, Lin Moyu felt an inexplicable sense of accomplishment. The corners of his soul's mouth also slightly lifted. After modification and correction, it could provide 20 units of faith power daily, just like the newly arranged faith formation. In this way, the daily harvest of faith power had reached 80 units. Among them, 60 units came from the Undead Legion, and the other 20 units came from humans. As his fame grew, the faith power Lin Moyu received was also gradually increasing.
I really wonder how much faith power those big shots in the other shore realm can receive daily.
The thought flashed through his mind, and perhaps he would know when he reached the other shore realm. With the faith formation arranged, the next step was to arrange a small formation to automatically refine the faith power. Receiving so much faith power daily, if not refined, it couldn't be truly utilized. But refining it himself was too troublesome, so Lin Moyu planned to arrange a small formation in his soul to automatically refine the faith power. He had already conceived this formation long ago, and it wasn't difficult. Just as he was about to start, he suddenly exclaimed softly. He clearly felt a new power emerging from various parts of his body, flowing rapidly within him. His whole body felt filled with power, and his blood was surging. His realm had unknowingly advanced by 1 level, from Divine King 4th tier to Divine King 5th tier. Although it was just a 1-level advancement, Lin Moyu knew very well that every small step of progress meant a significant increase in combat power. By this calculation, the skeletal generals probably already had the peak combat power of a minor divine sovereign. As for the skeletal kings, they were enough to confront a 2nd-tier divine sovereign head-on. This realm advancement was somewhat unexpected but seemed natural. Lin Moyu quickly recalled that his numerous life and death experiences and battles had brought his understanding of the laws to the brink of advancement. This long period of rune research became the catalyst, and the advancement naturally followed. The realm advancement was a pleasant surprise. Lin Moyu enjoyed the wonderful feeling of the power increase for a moment, then immersed his consciousness back into his soul. With determination in his soul's eyes, his small hands danced gracefully, drawing one perfect rune after another. Lin Moyu constructed a small formation himself. The formation was very simple, consisting of only a dozen runes. Its function was also very single, to refine faith power. The main rune of the formation was the refining rune, and the other runes were created to make the refining rune operate automatically. Soon, the formation was completed and began to operate. The impure faith power naturally flowed into it, refined by the formation, and automatically converted into pure faith power for Lin Moyu's use.
It's done!
Lin Moyu was delighted that the rune he constructed was operating perfectly. He no longer had to worry about refining faith power. No matter how much faith power he received, it would be quickly refined. Taking a deep breath, he said,
Next, it's the big project.
To give the entire Undead Legion the golden armor rune, doing it one by one was unrealistic. The golden armor rune was formed by one high-level rune combined with 10 basic runes. Even if he drew with all his might, it would take at least 10 seconds to complete one. If he wanted the entire Undead Legion to enjoy the golden armor rune, it would take over 60 years. So Lin Moyu thought of a solution. He wanted to create a formation specifically for drawing the golden armor rune. Using a formation to draw runes sounded like a fantasy. His idea was indeed wild. But Lin Moyu thought it was feasible. Based on his rune system, he simulated and demonstrated it in his mind and found no problems. However, whether it was feasible in reality still needed further experimentation. 1630. Chapter 1630. Creating runes with formations, setting a historical precedent. Using formations to create runes has never been recorded in history. Even high-level symbol masters, including the newly ascended rune Saint Venerable, have never done it. They haven't even thought about it. Lin Moyu's idea wasn't baseless. It was inspired by secret realms. In both the Poison Bee secret realm and the Golden Radiance secret realm, a fragment of an ancient rune appeared at the end. This fragment, though incomplete, still wielded terrifying power. The rune fragments in the secret realms all evolved from this single fragment. From another perspective, this fragment created countless rune fragments, which then turned into various dangers within the secret realms. Ancient runes are beyond high-level runes. They transform the mundane into the extraordinary, altering rules and possessing incomprehensible power. Lin Moyu couldn't change the rules, so he needed to work within the established laws. In his plan, the golden armor rune required one high-level rune and 10 basic runes. Therefore, he needed to set up 12 formations. 10 to create the basic runes, 1 to create the high-level rune, and the final one to fuse these runes together. He had already conceived the structure of the formation, using a double-layer structure similar to those found in ancient battlefields. The outer layer of 11 formations would form a whole, gathering the runes together, and the inner layer would fuse the runes.
It should work.
Lin Moyu thought after days of contemplation, visualizing the entire formation structure in his mind and knowing which runes to use and how to combine them. After figuring it out, the next step was practical application. He carefully drew one rune after another, placing them in specific positions in the starry sky. Lin Moyu first created a small formation to produce a basic rune, the
Strengthen.
rune. If he couldn't even create a basic rune like the
Strengthen.
rune, there was no point in proceeding further. Lin Moyu drew meticulously, allowing no room for error in any detail. Half a day later, a formation specifically for creating the
Strengthen.
rune was completed. After injecting soul power into the formation, it began to operate. At the center of the formation, a
Strengthen.
rune served as the main rune. Soul power flowed through the formation's veins into the center. The
Strengthen.
rune glowed brightly, and once fully charged with soul power, a new
Strengthen.
rune emerged from the formation. The entire process was akin to copying the
Strengthen.
rune.
It works.
Lin Moyu was overjoyed and excited. Successfully creating the rune was more thrilling than advancing his own realm. His hypothesis was validated. Since he could create basic runes, theoretically, creating high-level runes shouldn't be a problem. After examining the newly created
Strengthen.
rune and finding some minor issues, Lin Moyu immediately adjusted the formation, repeatedly testing and refining it. Days passed and he finally produced a perfect
Strengthen.
rune. He then set up the second formation also for creating basic runes. With the experience from the first attempt, his efficiency improved significantly. After setting up the formation, it operated normally, followed by more adjustments and refinements until the runes met his standards. Next came the third formation. Lin Moyu became thoroughly engrossed in the process, enjoying it immensely. Days turned into 100 days in the blink of an eye. Lin Moyu completed the final adjustments, and before him stood a massive formation. This formation consisted of over 2,000 basic runes and more than 100 high-level runes. Though it appeared as one formation, it was actually 11 formations. After injecting soul power, the formation roared to life. Amidst the glowing lights, 11 runes slowly emerged, all perfect and flawless, including the high-level rune. Even the usually calm Lin Moyu couldn't help but clench his fist in excitement. This was a milestone for him. He had no idea that what he was doing was also a milestone for the entire human race and even the great world. Since the near ancient period, no one had ever done this. It wasn't that it couldn't be done, but no one had ever thought to do it. Lin Moyu could be said to have pioneered a new path. After a few seconds of excitement, he calmed himself.
The hardest part is next.
In theory, creating runes wasn't difficult. The real challenge lay in fusing them. This wasn't just difficult for him. It was difficult for all symbol masters. The difficulty of fusing runes far exceeded that of drawing them. Following his plan, Lin Moyu began setting up a new formation. One rune after another flew out, this time with different functions including compression, stabilization, and fusion. The outer layer of the formation had 10 slots for the basic runes, and the center had a large slot for the high-level rune. After receiving the runes, the formation would use its power to fuse them in a specific order, ultimately forming the golden armor rune. Theoretically, this was entirely feasible, but the real challenge was in the execution. Days later, the fusion formation took shape in the starry sky. It was larger than the previous formations with a more complex internal structure. Lin Moyu considered every detail. With the formation set up, it was time for experimentation. At that moment, a divine king happened to pass by.
Someone's setting up a formation here?
Attracted by the massive formation, he flew over out of curiosity. After a glance, he let out a strange cry, clutching his head as he fled. The formation was too complex for his divine king-level soul to handle. Even a minor divine sovereign would struggle to endure it. Only a divine sovereign could observe it freely. Lin Moyu watched the fleeing divine king with some helplessness.
I didn't ask you to look. You can't blame me for your curiosity.
The small incident eased Lin Moyu's tension. He channeled his soul power, first into the outer layer. Seconds later, 11 runes emerged, following the formation's path into the inner layer. With the runes in place, the inner layer began to operate. The runes moved towards the center, starting to fuse. Lin Moyu watched intently, his soul eye activated, missing no detail. The faint golden light blossomed in the starry sky, mesmerizing to behold. In just a few seconds, a golden armor rune emerged from the formation.
It's done.
1631, 1631. Chapter 1631. The true origin of that great war. Lin Moyu's success on the first try was unexpected. He was confident he would succeed, but he didn't expect it to happen on the first attempt. The surprise came so suddenly. Looking at the shining golden armor rune in front of him, Lin Moyu carefully inspected it, and the initial excitement gradually faded. The golden armor rune was indeed complete and usable. However, it was not perfect. The entire rune had many inconsistencies, and once used, its effect might be less than half of what he could draw manually. It might not even withstand the attack of a minor divine sovereign, let alone a divine sovereign. Such a golden armor rune was of little use. Lin Moyu wanted a perfect golden armor rune, and he had his own ideas about it. The current golden armor rune was just the most basic version. There would be more advanced versions in the future with much stronger defensive capabilities. In his vision, the golden armor rune was a rune that could continuously grow and upgrade. If it could only block 1 or 2 attacks from a divine sovereign, it wouldn't be worth the effort. Now that the golden armor rune was complete and the formation had no issues, it just wasn't perfect. The next step was to find a way to perfect the formation and ultimately fuse a perfect golden armor rune. This would be a long process, and he couldn't rush it. It required repeated experiments, and he couldn't afford to be careless. In the core area, Ancestor Su, the newly ascended rune Saint Venerable, had completely stabilized his realm. With the experience of Tao rhythm, he had advanced further in the path of runes. His understanding and mastery of ancient runes had also reached a new level. Only after becoming a Saint Venerable did he realize the vast gap between the two realms. Although both were in the other shore realm, there was already a chasm between them. Now that Ancestor Su had become the Rune Saint Venerable, he finally understood this. Saint Venerable how appeared beside him, shrouded in an invisible black light that enveloped both of them. Their conversation was inaudible to outsiders. Even those in the other shore realm couldn't hear it. In fact, those in the other shore realm didn't even know that Saint Venerable how was conversing with the Rune Saint Venerable.
Now, do you understand?
Saint Venerable how's voice was somewhat low, seemingly calm but filled with deep helplessness and powerlessness. The Rune Saint Venerable looked into the distance, where a divine path lay in his sight. It seemed that stepping onto the divine path would lead to higher realms and greater peaks. But this divine path was broken. An invisible chasm blocked the divine path, preventing anyone from moving forward. Looking at the chasm, the Rune Saint Venerable also felt despair. A strong sense of despair struck his soul wave after wave, and the Rune Saint Venerable couldn't bear it, so he had to look away. As long as he didn't look at it, the feeling would disappear completely, as if it never existed. Saint Venerable how sighed.
Isn't it despairing? The path ahead is broken. No matter how high your talent or how great your opportunities, you can't move forward.
The Rune Saint Venerable's face turned slightly pale, and the joy of ascending to Saint Venerable had vanished. His voice trembled slightly.
Why is it like this?
Saint Venerable how said,
Go to the Human Emperor Network.
The Rune Saint Venerable connected to the Human Emperor Network. This was his first time connecting to the Human Emperor Network after becoming a Saint Venerable. His consciousness naturally entered the Human Emperor Network, and he found himself in a place he had never been before.
This is the land of Saint Venerables, only accessible to Saint Venerables. There are some things only Saint Venerables are qualified to know.
Saint Venerable how's voice sounded, and he also arrived at the land of Saint Venerables, standing side by side with the Rune Saint Venerable. In front of them were 18 giant thrones, the thrones of Saint Venerables. Among them, 12 thrones were dim, and only 6 thrones still shone brightly. The Rune Saint Venerable's gaze fell on one of the thrones, which was displayed in the Human Emperor Network as belonging to him. Saint Venerable how said in a low voice,
Since the great war of the war god that severed the near ancient period, our human race has had a total of 12 Saint Venerables. Including you, only 6 remain.
The 6 remaining corresponded exactly to the number of shining thrones. The Rune Saint Venerable's eyes narrowed.
What about the other Saint Venerables?
Saint Venerable how shook his head.
They all stepped onto the human race's divine path before their lifespan ran out and never returned, without exception.
A Saint Venerable's lifespan is about 50,000 years. From the near ancient period to now, over 100,000 years have passed. The human race has had a total of 18 Saint Venerables, 12 of whom stepped onto the divine path after breaking through the unfathomable realm and completely disappeared. The Rune Saint Venerable wanted to say something, but Saint Venerable how waved his hand, and a document appeared before the Rune Saint Venerable. After carefully reading it, the Rune Saint Venerable's expression became increasingly grave, and he muttered to himself,
So that's how it is.
The information he saw was only accessible to Saint Venerables. In other words, only 6 people in the human race currently knew about this. Saint Venerable how's eyes carried a trace of helplessness.
Since the ancient period, a great war severed the divine path, making the path beyond Saint Venerable extremely perilous. Now you should understand why, at the end of the near ancient period, various races joined forces to attack our human race.
At the end of the near ancient period, various races suddenly launched an unprecedented attack on the human race. Over 200 races joined forces, attacking the human race from all directions. The 4 major star regions of the human race were almost entirely occupied with countless casualties. Finally, the allied forces of various races reached the human race's divine city, putting the human race in grave danger. It was at that time that Xiao Zhantian emerged. With an invincible stance, he repelled the allied forces of various races. Afterward, He even counterattacked the various races, and the allied forces of over 200 races were nearly halved. Many races fled to distant lands. Xiao Zhantian alone severed the near-ancient period, ushering the entire Great World into a new era. This history is recorded among all races in the Great World. But few know the true reason for the Great War. Even those in the other shore realm of the human race didn't know why. The rune Saint Venerable didn't know before reaching Saint Venerable. Now he finally understood that the true purpose behind the Great War was the human race's divine path. After the ancient period, the divine path was severed, making it extremely difficult to advance beyond Saint Venerable. The divine path is not unique. Many powerful races have it. But without exception, all were severed. Only the human race's divine path, though incomplete, was not entirely severed. The true purpose of the Great War was to destroy the human race and seize the divine path. The human race's divine path is widely known, and almost every human knows about it. Entering the divine city and stepping onto the divine path is the dream of every cultivator. But few know the true meaning of the divine path. Even the rune Saint Venerable only learned about it now. The rune Saint Venerable's mood matched Saint Venerable Hao's, slightly gloomy, and his voice was similarly low.
Has anyone succeeded?
Saint Venerable Hao shook his head.
I don't know. Maybe someone has, maybe no one has.
After a few seconds of silence, he continued,
The war god should have succeeded.
The rune Saint Venerable's pupils contracted.
Really?
As far as he knew, Xiao Zhantian hadn't appeared for many years. No one knew if he was dead or alive. If Xiao Zhantian was a Saint Venerable, his lifespan would have long been exhausted after over 100,000 years. If he wasn't a Saint Venerable, then what was he? What realm lies beyond Saint Venerable? Saint Venerable Hao said in a low voice,
When the divine path opens next time, you will know soon.
1632 1632. Chapter 1632. This is the explanation? I don't accept it ***. Unknowingly, Lin Moyu had already stayed in the starry sky for over 300 days. During this period, several people passed by. They were all attracted by the formation Lin Moyu had set up, curious and wanting to take a closer look. But without exception, just a glance made them clutch their heads and leave. The formation Lin Moyu set up was too complex, and a third-tier soul at the Divine King level couldn't withstand it. Gradually, the news of someone setting up a formation in the starry sky spread. Relying on the Human Emperor network, the news spread at an incredible speed. Some claimed that if someone could look at the formation for 10 seconds, it would prove their soul had reached the peak of the third tier. If they could last a minute, it meant their soul surpassed the peak of the third tier and had the potential to advance to the Divine Sovereign level. Lin Moyu's formation was used to test soul strength. Some even held competitions to see who could last the longest. However, they all kept a distance, maintaining at least 1,000 kilometers from Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't mind. As long as they didn't disturb him, they could watch all they wanted. He was fully immersed, making fine adjustments to the rune fusion formation. The fused runes became increasingly perfect, with fewer and fewer flaws. Now, the perfection had reached 90%. Just a bit more and it would be truly perfect. The adjustments had reached the final critical point, and Lin Moyu became even more meticulous, fully focused and undistracted. Thousands of runes cooperated with each other, and the formation operated more smoothly and naturally. Lin Moyu could feel the pulsation within the formation, as if it had come to life. In his eyes, the entire formation exuded vibrant vitality. It no longer seemed like an ordinary formation but had gained a spirit. He recalled something Meng Anwen once said.
When a formation is completely perfect, it might give birth to a formation spirit.
Under the palace of the Xinxia Empire in the small world, there was a formation that had given birth to a spirit. Looking back, that formation was so simple, merely sealing an area and adding a simple teleportation function. But because it was perfect enough, it eventually gave birth to a formation spirit. Now, his formation seemed to be on the verge of giving birth to a formation spirit as well.
Almost there. Just 3 more runes.
Lin Moyu whispered in his heart. All the runes had been adjusted, leaving only the last 3. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt a bit excited. Over 300 days had deepened his understanding of runes and formations. He was now confident that if he set up the golden armor formation again, he could do it perfectly in one go, without needing extensive adjustments like this time. 1, 2, 3. The last 3 runes were finally adjusted, and the entire formation immediately burst into dazzling light, as bright as a star in the sky. The golden armor formation consisted of 2 formations, inside and outside, interconnected and coordinated, exuding an indescribable beauty. The entire formation was seamless, without a single flaw. Lin Moyu admired his formation like a piece of art. Injecting his soul power into it, the 2 formations operated in sync. 11 runes flew out from the outer formation and entered the inner formation. The inner formation then fused them. In just 10 seconds, a golden armor rune was fused. The golden armor rune was as perfect as an artwork, indistinguishable from the ones Lin Moyu drew himself. It met all expectations, and the 300 days were not wasted. After the first perfect golden armor rune appeared, the golden armor formation didn't stop but became even more radiant. A stream of spirit continuously flowed from the formation.
A formation spirit.
Lin Moyu was overjoyed. A formation spirit had indeed been born. This indicated that his formation, regardless of its grade, had reached perfection. From nothing, he created his own formation bit by bit. Then he continuously adjusted it to perfection. Now, the formation had given birth to a spirit. The sense of accomplishment was stronger than advancing a major realm. Advancing in realm felt like walking a path many had walked before. But creating a formation that could draw and fuse runes was unprecedented. The satisfaction and sense of achievement were on a completely different level. Lin Moyu admired his masterpiece, watching the spirit within the formation grow stronger. He continuously provided soul power to the formation. His soul power was the best nourishment for the formation spirit. This was his formation, marked everywhere with his imprint. The formation spirit would also belong to him.
Who allowed you to set up a formation here?
A low shout rang out, and a sword light leaped into the sky. The attack wasn't aimed at Lin Moyu but at the golden armor formation. The skeletal dragon roared in anger. Golden armor appeared on its body, expanding instantly, and a large area flashed with golden light, blocking the attack. With a bang, the sword light exploded, and a sharp sword was bounced back. Lin Moyu withdrew his mind from the formation and saw a young man with a delicate appearance. The young man wore a long robe embroidered with a flaming bird, resembling a vermilion bird. He didn't hide his information.
Luo Feiyu, a minor divine sovereign.
Lin Moyu thought, the family managing the
Primary star system number 13283.
1 billion kilometers away was named Luo. Judging by Luo Feiyu's appearance, he was likely from the Luo family. But that wasn't important. What mattered was that he had attacked. Even if the target wasn't Lin Moyu himself but the formation. Everyone knew the formation was set up by Lin Moyu, so attacking it was like attacking him. The Human Emperor Network had strict rules. Anyone who attacked a fellow human would be punished. For example, now, no matter what reason Luo Feiyu found, he would be punished. But he could explain just like he shouted when he attacked.
Who allowed you to set up a formation here?
As the manager of the star system, the area within 100 billion kilometers was under their jurisdiction. Setting up a formation here, they indeed had the right to intervene. Luo Feiyu could even find various reasons, claiming the formation might threaten the star system, justifying his actions. There could be many reasons, and the final result might be a light punishment. A fine of 10 divine city merit points would be considered heavy. That's why Luo Feiyu dared to act. As long as he didn't attack Lin Moyu directly, he could find various explanations. Lin Moyu quickly thought of all possible outcomes and focused on Luo Feiyu.
Give me an explanation.
His voice was calm, without any emotion. Luo Feiyu chuckled.
You need to give me an explanation. Who allowed you to set up a formation here? Don't you know that the area within 100 billion kilometers of the star system is under my Luo family's control? I have every reason to suspect that your formation might threaten the star system.
Luo Feiyu was somewhat unscrupulous, squinting his eyes and looking down on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't hear what he wanted and shook his head lightly.
Is this your explanation? I don't accept it.
1633, 1633. Chapter 1633. You shouldn't use me as a stepping stone.
Not accepting it? What can you do if you don't accept it?
Luo Feiyu knew why he acted. It was because he was in a bad mood and a bit jealous. Lin Moyu was only at the 5th tier of the Divine King realm, so why could he set up such a complex and powerful formation? Why did he become the center of attention, stealing all the limelight? Especially with the saying that only those who could stare at the formation for more than a minute were qualified to become a divine sovereign. He could stare at the formation for more than a minute, but just barely. His soul had already reached the 4th grade, naturally qualifying him to become a divine sovereign, but that was it. This also meant that his potential had reached its limit, making further progress difficult. But seeing Lin Moyu's effortless demeanor made him feel inexplicably uncomfortable. Why? So he acted, driven by such a trivial emotion. But Luo Feiyu was also measured. He wouldn't attack Lin Moyu directly. He attacked the formation instead, which, in the Human Emperor Network's judgment, was different. He could have a reason to explain. At the same time, he used words to provoke. If Lin Moyu fought back, the nature of the situation would change. If a fight broke out, even if he accidentally killed Lin Moyu during the fight, he would naturally face severe punishment. But he was from the Luo family, which had 2 divine sovereigns in its 22 generations. With a strong family background, he could afford the punishment. Luo Feiyu chuckled.
What can you do if you don't accept it? Do you dare to fight me? If you really have the guts, then hit me.
He was provoking, actually hoping Lin Moyu would fight back. If he encountered a smart person, they might directly communicate with the Human Emperor Network and let it handle the situation. That would ruin Luo Feiyu's plan, and he would face some minor punishment. But Lin Moyu wasn't that kind of person. Lin Moyu said softly,
As you wish.
With that, he pointed his finger, and a red light suddenly shone. Fusion spell. Time curse. It had been a long time since he used the time curse. This spell couldn't harm Luo Feiyu but could make him taste soul-level pain. Luo Feiyu was enveloped in red light and immediately let out an earth-shattering scream. Lin Moyu pointed his finger again. Stellar-level spell. Undead gaze. In the starry sky, blazing flames erupted, covering millions of meters. A gray eye opened within the flames. The undead eye gazed at the still screaming Luo Feiyu, and another soul attack silently fell. The soul was struck again, pain upon pain. Luo Feiyu screamed even more intensely, curling up and trembling with his hands holding his head. The 2 soul attacks couldn't cause any substantial harm to Luo Feiyu, but the intense pain was enough to haunt him for a while. The onlookers were shocked.
He really dared to fight back. Luo Feiyu is the young master of the Luo family. How dare he fight back? Such boldness! Isn't he afraid of the Human Emperor Network's punishment? But Luo Feiyu attacked first. Is he crazy? Luo Feiyu only attacked the formation, not him. Given Luo Feiyu's character, he shouldn't have attacked. What's going on? I don't understand, really don't understand.
Many people knew Luo Feiyu and his character, feeling that he wasn't the type to act rashly. But Luo Feiyu did act, leaving them puzzled. Luo Feiyu trembled in pain.
You dare use soul attacks on me?
He endured the pain and raised his sword. But his hand holding the sword was still trembling. Many people were watching, all stunned. What kind of soul attack could cause Luo Feiyu such pain? As the young master of the Luo family, Luo Feiyu couldn't be without soul treasures. He must have soul armor, and his soul, capable of becoming a minor divine sovereign, wouldn't be weak. Yet he was still in such pain. If it were another cultivator at the 7th or 8th tier of the Divine King realm, their soul might have collapsed on the spot. Everyone realized that this Divine King who could set up formations was not simple, and Luo Feiyu might have kicked an iron plate this time. Lin Moyu looked at the trembling Luo Feiyu.
I see jealousy in your eyes. Did you attack me out of jealousy? Do you think that as long as I fight back, you can kill me in the fight? Even if you face significant punishment, you can vent your jealousy. I guess you should have been able to break through to Divine Sovereign long ago. But because of some inner issue, you haven't been able to. It seems your jealousy is strong enough to affect your cultivation. With such a poor state of mind, your future path won't be far.
Lin Moyu's words were like invisible swords, piercing Luo Feiyu's heart. Luo Feiyu couldn't believe how Lin Moyu guessed it. Was it his eyes? Or did he reveal some flaw? The key was that Lin Moyu was entirely correct, almost without error. He could have broken through to Divine Sovereign long ago but was hindered by a specific reason. He hadn't told anyone about this, not even his father. But Lin Moyu saw through it at a glance. To Luo Feiyu, Lin Moyu became terrifying, like an omniscient deity, quietly watching him. Like the giant eye in the starry sky, it seemed to be Lin Moyu's eye. He realized he had provoked the wrong person. Now he had two choices: fight, following his initial plan. If he could defeat Lin Moyu, it would prove his strength, possibly overcoming his inner issue and breaking through to Divine Sovereign. Or retreat, making his path to Divine Sovereign even more distant. His previous wound would worsen, possibly becoming irreparable. Luo Feiyu hesitated, unable to decide, his eyes full of struggle. Lin Moyu saw more in his eyes.
Your state of mind is flawed. You want to use me as a stepping stone to fill the gap. But you're afraid you're not my match, worsening your state of mind.
Luo Feiyu shuddered, his face showing bitterness, realizing Lin Moyu saw through everything. Lin Moyu continued,
You're from the Luo family, right?
Luo Feiyu nodded slightly, remaining silent. Lin Moyu chuckled.
With the Luo family stature, they wouldn't provoke me out of jealousy. Unfortunately, I'm not a suitable stepping stone for you.
By now, Luo Feiyu understood. The young divine king before him wasn't a stepping stone but an insurmountable mountain. Using him as a stepping stone would only lead to being crushed. Luo Feiyu sighed, looking dejected. His appearance was already somewhat delicate, and now he looked even more so, exuding a sense of death. His state of mind was further damaged. The state of mind is a mysterious thing, difficult for others to help with. Everyone knows the importance of a firm Tao heart, but achieving it is incredibly difficult. If Luo Feiyu couldn't figure it out, he might remain a minor divine sovereign forever, or even regress.
Today's matter was my fault. If you ever visit the Luo family, I will welcome you and apologize with a drink.
Luo Feiyu left, full of dejection. But his parting words gave Lin Moyu a glimmer of hope. He felt Luo Feiyu still had a chance, still had hope.
Breaking and then standing, perhaps overcoming this will lead to great progress.
1634, 1634. Chapter 1634. Formation Spirit. Shao Jin. Attention returned to the golden armor formation. Lin Moyu felt the increasing spirituality within the formation and increased the supply of soul power. He also placed the first golden armor rune he had just created back into the formation. The spirituality within the formation seemed to find a home, a destination. The golden armor rune transformed within the formation, becoming a small ball of light. This ball of light looked familiar to Lin Moyu, reminiscent of the one he had seen in the formation under the palace in the small world. This was the initial form of the formation spirit without a complete shape, just a ball of light. Only when the formation grew stronger and the spirituality increased could it possibly take on other forms, even condensing into a real entity. However, that would require an immense amount of time, measured in tens of thousands of years. Lin Moyu did not have such high expectations. Reaching the current level was already very good.
Master!
A weak consciousness emanated from the ball of light. The consciousness carried a sense of intimacy, like a child seeing their father. It was born from Lin Moyu, naturally recognizing him as its master. Its consciousness was weak, and its spirituality had just been born, unable to communicate normally. Could only repeatedly call out,
Master.
in a weak consciousness. But that didn't matter. Lin Moyu knew it could control the golden armor formation, and that was enough. He enveloped the entire formation with his soul power.
Collect.
Even facing a first-tier divine sovereign, it wouldn't be easily killed. The stronger the skeletons, the stronger Lin Moyu's survival ability. Moreover, this golden armor rune was just the initial plan. There would be stronger versions in the future. No matter how much he studied runes, Lin Moyu never forgot his foundation. The Undead Legion and the Undying Law. Runes, no matter how strong, must serve them. Only by winning together could they become stronger. The golden armor formation continued to operate, producing one golden armor rune after another, all sent into the magic star by the formation spirit. One skeletal god warrior after another fused with the golden armor rune, their defense increasing significantly. The formation operated extremely smoothly, without any flaws. Produced one rune every 10 seconds, without any deviation. Lin Moyu began to create a second golden armor formation. With the experience of the first formation, the second one didn't need fine-tuning and was perfect upon setup. In just half a day, a brand new golden armor formation appeared. This formation was also perfect but did not give birth to a formation spirit. The two identical golden armor formations stood side by side, operating together. Lin Moyu discovered something amazing. The formation spirit of the first golden armor formation extended a tendril, connecting to the second formation. Upon connecting, the ball of light of the formation spirit seemed to brighten and grow stronger. The formation spirit conveyed a sense of joy, seemingly very fond of the second formation. The formation spirit controlled both formations, sending the produced runes into the magic star. With both formations operating simultaneously, efficiency doubled. But even so, it would still take 33 years. Lin Moyu's soul didn't stop and began setting up a third golden armor formation. This time, the setup was even more skilled and faster. In just 6 hours, the third golden armor formation was completed. The formation spirit extended its tendrils again, connecting to the new formation, controlling all three formations and growing slightly stronger. Lin Moyu continued setting up formations. His soul didn't stop, continuously setting up formations. Countless runes flew in the soul world, forming formations. One formation after another appeared. Lin Moyu's setup became more skilled, and the speed increased. From initially taking half a day to set up one formation, it now took only 2 hours. The formation spirit was also busy, controlling more and more formations, but it seemed very happy and excited. As it controlled more formations, its power gradually increased, and its spirituality became more apparent. Finally, when it controlled 10 formations, the formation spirit suddenly expanded. Its spirituality seemed to break through a bottleneck, increasing several times.
Master, name me. Master, name me.
A childish voice echoed in the soul world. The formation spirit's consciousness grew stronger, like a child growing a few years older. Lin Moyu chuckled.
Then I'll call you Xiao Jin.
The formation spirit was delighted to receive a name.
Thank you, Master. Xiao Jin will serve you wholeheartedly.
The childish voice made Lin Moyu smile. His soul continued setting up formations. 2 hours per formation was already the limit, but this speed was astonishing. One formation after another appeared, forming an array like an army. With Xiao Jin controlling them, the formations operated smoothly and orderly. Lin Moyu truly felt the benefits of the formation spirit. With Xiao Jin, he didn't have to worry about the formations at all. The number of golden armor formations in his soul increased, eventually forming a square array of 10 by 10. Xiao Jin, now a large glowing ball, stayed in the center of the array, like a general commanding an army, controlling all the formations. By then, the defense of the Undead Legion would increase significantly. Lin Moyu looked at the array of golden armor formations, reflecting on what he had done during this time. Suddenly, a bolder idea came to mind.
If I could create a formation that can replicate other formations, then I wouldn't need to set up formations repeatedly.
This whimsical idea flashed by and was dismissed. He smiled wryly, thinking he was trying to run before he could walk, aiming too high. 1635, 1635.